Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me.
The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound for pound champion type of fighter.
Jake too big for Tank, you know? In reality, he's way too big for Tank.
One Gervonta Tank Davis exploded after hearing Floyd Mayweather predict that Jake Paul would win by an early knockout. The tension between Tank and his former mentor has been growing for years, but this comment pushed things too far. Insiders say Davis felt disrespected by Floyd's public support for Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer. What started as a simple prediction quickly turned into a full feud, with Davis firing back online and accusing Floyd of selling out boxing for fame.
Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me. You don't know me. You feel me? And I don't give a fuck him. If everybody including Will, Will.
Same question for you. You're a proud father.
Since the fight was announced, people have talked about the big size difference between the two fighters. Veteran champion Terence Crawford said clearly that Jake Paul is too big for Tank. He explained that while Davis is very talented, powerful, and explosive, Jake's size changes everything. Crawford even warned that if Jake lands one clean punch, it could be over.
To get your take on the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't have no reaction, you know? I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder, you know? If it's scripted, then it's going to be good for the fans to watch.
What do you mean by scripted? Like rigged?
Yeah, like scripted.
But none of those guys want a fucking L, right?
I think it's not a real fight. I think it's because it can't be a real fight because they ain't in the same weight. So it'd be more like an exhibition.
I think it is an exhibition, but do you think they're like, but not one person saying like, yo, I'm gonna fucking throw the match. You think?
I don't think.
Or you never know?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go in there and spar. I don't think it's gonna be you trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. You know, I think it's, let's go in here and make this money.
3 former mixed martial arts champion Daniel Cormier agreed. On his channel, he questioned if the fight is fair because of the huge weight gap. He said, "The problem is Jake is much bigger. It is hard to look at this fight and think it is fair. In normal boxing, fighters face opponents close to their weight, but that rule seems ignored here." Cormier said even the better boxer might lose because the physical difference is too big.
Boxing gets ridiculous. Gervonta Davis is fighting Jake Paul. Yesterday, they had their first press conference. One of the most recognizable things is Jake Paul is huge compared to Gervonta Davis. And 2, Gervonta Davis don't even know what weight they fighting, D.
Maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition.
It was 190.
The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know.
For Cormier, and others kept pointing out the weight gap. Reports say Davis usually fights around 136 pounds, while Jake Paul has weighed close to 200 pounds in recent fights. Cormier said Jake has made his own lane in boxing, but questioned how boxing groups can approve such a mismatch. The size difference is not just an advantage, it is almost
Yo, so Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Davis. I'm serious. It's real. 199 in Paul's last fight, 133.8 for Davis in his last fight. I discussed that and so much more at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific at my YouTube channel. The link will be in my bio. But hey, I thought he was going to fight Anthony Joshua. How do you end up from Anthony Joshua to Tank Davis? I discussed.
Fair. 5 Davis replied to the criticism, saying people always want someone new when a fighter stays in the spotlight too long. He compared it to what happened with Floyd Mayweather. People saw him too much, and then they started to hate him, Tank said. He believes the same thing is happening now, that fans are turning their admiration into hate.
Gervonta, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the road rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch, y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
Can we still expect to see any of those fights in the future though?
Then y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. Didn't he just have a fight? And what happened? He won, right? But how he look in it? Exactly. But y'all say some different shit when it's me, right? Cause y'all want me to lose. When y'all see people in that limelight too long, they want to take that they want somebody else to come take that spot. That's why it's always like, come on, bro. That's what happened with Floyd. That y'all seen him too much, and once y'all seen him so much, y'all start hating on it. Like it turned from love to hate.
6 in interviews. Davis said his dream fight would be against Floyd Mayweather, not because of hate, but to prove how far he has come since leaving Mayweather Promotions. Facing Floyd would be about pride and legacy. This adds meaning to his fight with Jake Paul, as many see it as Tank's chance to step out of Floyd's shadow and become boxing's next big star. Just like Floyd once ruled the spotlight and faced public criticism, Tank now feels that same pressure. He believes beating Jake Paul could start his own Mayweather moment.
What's your dream fight card?
Dream fight card?
Anybody.
So there's a couple fights on there. Me versus Floyd.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that.
A new deal, 7-fight deal, which is music to the ears of many boxing fans. You get to see you in action for several more years. What type of names are we talking about in those 7 names?
Whoever you name, they could be in it.
If I name some fighters, can you say yes or no?
Yep.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yep.
Ryan Garcia.
Yep.
Devin Haney.
Yep.
Isaac Cruz.
Yeah, but there's 2 people I already beat already, but yeah.
Errol Spence.
Outside the ring.
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Yeah, September. November.
Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah.
Out of all of those guys, who do you think's the most difficult opponent for you?
Floyd Mayweather.
7 Davis has even said his skills are better than Floyd Mayweather's. Tank believes his mix of power, timing, and ring IQ makes him a more complete fighter than Floyd was at his age. He often says that while Floyd was a defensive genius, he brings both defense and explosive offense, something Floyd rarely showed. 8
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody.
Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest boxers ever, took Gervonta Davis under his wing when Davis was a teenager. Floyd saw big potential in him and wanted to make him a world champion. At first, their bond was full of respect. Floyd praised Tank's skills, and Tank thanked Floyd for his guidance.
Floyd, let me ask you something about the business of all this. I asked you why you wanted to promote Tank when you first saw him, Gervonta Davis. Why do you think he's been able to connect with a crowd? Because he draws real crowds when he fights. That's hard to do in boxing. He gets announced at Ravens games, and then he gets a big ovation, right? And now he's already fighting on pay-per-view. What is it about Tank that is connected commercially with an audience?
His aura, people like him. That Main Street, he got a boyish look. I mean, he's very marketable. As far as when you look at him, he's marketable. But when the bell rings, he's a killer, and that's what people want to see. That's no different from when I was fighting at super featherweight. When I was fighting at junior lightweight, the boyish look. But when I get in there, I wreck shop.
9 Their relationship went beyond business. It was true mentorship. Davis often said Floyd did not just teach boxing, he built his confidence and discipline. Those lessons helped Davis become the champion he is today.
I was like, okay, I'm ready now. So they came pick me up. Then he took me to the dealership. So he let me test drive this, and he also let me test drive a Charger. the charger was too fast, and he was like, everybody at the gym have them.
That's true, they do.
Yeah, he was like, we want to get you something different. So.
Well, you're from Baltimore. You need a Jeep on the streets of Baltimore.
Yeah.
I've watched the news.
Yeah.
What did they say back home when everybody saw the story that Floyd Mayweather bought you a very expensive car?
Not only that he bought me an expensive car, he took me in.
Took you interest in you and your career, yeah?
Yeah, as a fighter, also as a, you know, Floyd old enough to be my son, so I wouldn't say a big brother, so he, like a father figure and stuff like that, he took me in, and, you know, he been treating me good since I knew him. You know, he been not only in the boxing, like working with me on boxing, he showed me like the business side and all that type stuff, and he showed me a lot, and I appreciate him and I love him forever for that.